Welcome to the Week 14 edition of the Shark Tank podcast. My name is Warren Sharp with SharpFootballAnalysis.com. It is getting close to playoff time. We've got a lot of teams positioning themselves for the postseason. Some others are already out of the picture, but we've got motivational issues to consider as well. So it makes for a lot of potential angles and edges this week and moving forward. You got to do your research, you got to do your homework, figure out what's going on. But we always love to consult with a good friend of the podcast, Bill Krack14. Every Sunday, we're fortunate enough to bring his words of wisdom to you guys. With that said, we'll welcome the man himself on. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. You say it's getting close to. When you said it's getting close to, I thought you meant Christmas because I mean, frig football, family and holiday and Christmas time means a lot to me. I'm like a big kid. That reminds me of when I was a child growing up on the East Coast, and a lot of love and a lot of joy shared amongst family and friends around the dinner table for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and leading up to that time. So right when you said that, that's what I thought you were saying. But I know everyone is degenerate, so they don't really care. They care about football. But I don't mean to say everyone's degenerates, but just for lack of a better word. It is football season, and we still bet football. I understand that, but so I just I had a little brain fart there. I just wanted to voice off on that. It's getting close to playoff time. Freak playoffs. Anyway, it's like I always do on this podcast. It's a very spontaneous, non-prepared interview. I'll give you my scenario last night of something I've done. I've in the past threatened to call gaming on casinos that do things shady or wrong, but I never actually call. But last night I had a conversation with a gaming agent at 11 o'clock last night. One of the books were doing something shady. On the parlay cards, they have Detroit, St. Louis, a pick 'em, and the line is 3. So it's advantageous to put Detroit on your parlay cards. It's 3 points. So you could just almost put them on anyone blindly. So I was putting Detroit on my parlay cards, and they wouldn't take it. They turned it down. It's a $100 bet, by the way. It's $100 tip money. And they're turning it down to win $500. 3-teamers. So I bet the other side. I bet St. Louis pick 'em. It went right through. And I canceled the ticket, but I took a picture of it on my iPhone, took a picture of the ticket they gave me, and I called gaming. And I said, this is wrong what the sports book's doing. And the gaming officer, he let me speak for about 5 minutes, and I go on a rant, just like I go on my rants on your podcast. The guy said, I'm doing this 19 years, getting ready to retire. You may be one of the most informed consumers that I've ever had call about the industry. And I said, well, I'm not trying to come off as, such a wise guy or anything to you. I'm just, I am informed. I used to write for some casino magazines. I've been in this business for many years. He says, well, you really are. You're great. He said, and you're right. He actually admitted that I was right. He goes, you are right. Seems wrong. You're absolutely right. He bets sports, by the way, which is great. When you find a guy that bets sports that works for gaming, it's great. He said, you're right. It's really not fair what they're doing. However, you have an option to go into the next sports book, and that's what they're going to tell you. And it's a private property, private entity, and basically, that's legal. That shocked me. So they're allowed to book one-way bets on parlay cards. So they're allowed. That's like you walking into a casino today, and Detroit St. Louis is -3, and you say, all right, give me 1,000 on Detroit, and they say, nah, we only want St. Louis money. We don't want Detroit. Can you give us St. Louis? Or if you can give us St. Louis, we'll take the bet. I mean, it just seems like it has to be illegal. It's like a roulette wheel that's biased and spinning around and tilted to one side where the 31 is. And they're saying, hey, you can't bet 31, but you can bet the numbers around it because you have a chance to win them too. But 31's our number. That number is tilted for us. We need that number. You can't play 31 on the roulette wheel. But you can play the numbers around it. If you think there's an edge, you can play it. But 31's our number. That's our number. I mean, it just seems so wrong to me. I know it's wrong, but I was just shocked to hear that. So, needless to say, it's almost like you're dealing with the people are worried about these governments and officials are worried about the mafia. These guys are the real mafia. I mean, these guys can say what they want. This is still a cowboy town. This is still a town that's run by old-time cowboys. That's what this basically is. And to see this is really, it really solidifies what I say. I just want to just get out of town and it'll always be in me betting sports, but it's just you can't win if what's the average public? How can the average public beat this if I'm struggling to beat this with games that are tilted in their favor so much that, let's just call a spade what a spade is. They're cheating. So if they're cheating, how do you win if they're cheating? It just shocked me yesterday, and I figured you're the first avenue to voice my upset. How upset I was.
Yeah,
So.
it's definitely got to be frustrating for somebody like you who does this professionally and has to deal with these people day in and day out. And I'll take your analogy on the roulette wheel and raise it up a notch. It's more like a roulette wheel where they're only taking bets on the 31 because they know that the 31 will hit less often than the other spaces. And so the public doesn't know that necessarily. And because that's what they're doing here. It's not just a random chance and they just don't want your action on this one side. They believe that they have a good side there and they won't let you bet that side. But for random other Joes out there who aren't that informed, they want them to come in and bet the other side that they're looking to get action on. So it's definitely, I agree with you. It doesn't seem like that should be fair because you are educated. Some of the professional guys out there are educated and know what they're doing and can see right through it, and hence you're calling gaming. Random public guys out there, the average person out there who maybe can't afford to lose a $50 bet or a $100 bet on the Rams would be going there and having to put their money on the Rams if they're interested, and these guys are trying to encourage that. Doesn't seem right.
Yeah, I just like I said, this really deflated me a little bit, and when this happened, I was just like, wow. I walked out like Jesus. I mean, they had it's funny, they had a 23 on the Kansas City San Diego first half, which was supposed to be windy and rainy, and today with some gusts of 27 miles an hour. I was reading last night. I was kind of bored. I was with some friends in the casino last night. So I was looking at all the weather and stuff, because sometimes that helps, especially first half totals. So they had a 23, and I said, let me bet the under 23, and which is gone now. Actually, it's 21.5 now. This is not a play because it's on, for anyone, but just unbettable. So I went there and I said, I wonder what they'll take. I mean, really, I'll be honest with you, I want like 5,000 on it if I get it, but of course they're not going to take something like that. So I said, let me bet $400 on the under. So I said, the clerks don't know I called gaming. No one really knows. So I questioned it, canceled the ticket with the other side of the bet, but they don't really know. So I bet the under 23 for $400, and it went through. And then I know that the limit's only going to be like a nickel or a dime. So I bet under 23 again, and I bet it again, and I bet it again, until I had like $1,500 on it. And I said, that's what they deserve. They deserve to have someone. They deserve to have people come in and try to, and not that you're stealing, I was going to say steal from them. Not that you're stealing. You're putting your money up. You're laying 11 to 10, and you're betting. You're not stealing, but you are gonna. At least when I bet, I'm going to steal the number. The number I'm going to get the best of in the end, 95% of the time. So they deserve to go in there and to be circumvented and to bet whatever. I don't know what the max would be. Maybe it's a dime. Right? So maybe I think it's a nickel though. But I mean, it's unfortunate the strategic things you have to think to do, put yourself in a position to make money. But this is just, it's some bad stuff. I wouldn't recommend this business for anyone coming into this business. I wouldn't recommend this to anybody. This is too hard of a business to overcome so many things. And then to be cheated, in layman's terms, to be cheated is, and I know people may look at it, well, I'm cheating. well, I'm not really cheating. They put a parlay card out on Thursday. It's not my fault the game moves by Sunday. I mean, they have guys that are walking around there betting the other side of it. They don't know any better. Everyone's a victim. Just look at the people in the casinos. Just look at them. Look at the people in the sports book. They're betting parlays and teasing with their favorite teams, and they're all victims. I mean, they don't know any better. 95% of them, 98% of them, they got no chance. Zero chance. They're like zombies in the casino. Just look at them. Watch them. Watch people playing. Watch people playing in the sports books. Watch them playing in the casino. Watch them playing slot machines. They're mesmerized. I mean, it's just anyway.
You want to talk? Well, I'll also touch on this. You want to talk about the zombies and who's cheating? Talk about the books that are offering people free drinks when they're betting on games, and to encourage them to bet more. They're getting them boozed up and liquored up and trying to get their money more frequently. Then, you go to the tables where you're spending a little bit more. They keep bringing you free alcohol. So, I mean, people love that, and that's one of the things they enjoy about going to these books is having a good time, some of them. But, that's something that...
And that goes as far as casinos, too. The casinos get these drinks. The video game makers that are making these slot machines, they do studies and tests of what is to keep you there longer. They're putting up all these games that remind me of when you were a kid, Willy Wonka and the Jetsons, and they're putting up these games and the Goodfellas and Godfather for a lot of, that attracts a lot of gamblers. So, and the near miss features on the machines are hysterical. You would think it'd be a random number generator that would generate where the wheels stop. Absolutely not. They're set up where they actually will stop like a double diamond on the bar below the pay line. This way, it actually creates a false sense in your brain. It actually really pumps up your endorphins and says, "Wow, look how close I was." No, you weren't close. That's put there for you because you're a sucker, and you're going to think that. No, you weren't close, but that's going to make you think you were close. Like, that is not a random thing that's put there purposely by the game makers to keep you playing longer. It should be illegal. But, nothing should be illegal here because this is a cowboy town. You can do whatever you want. And, after last night, I really seen that. I was really surprised that gaming told me what they told me. But then again, think about it. Gaming has a job because they're there to police the casinos. So the casinos pay them indirectly. If it wasn't for them being there, they wouldn't have their jobs. So taxpayer dollars pay. They get their jobs, nice cushy jobs, and they really don't want to do nothing at the casino. That's the bottom line. They don't want to look after anything to do except for just hoping they don't get a call for the night and go home and take their cushy checks. And they're doing what they're supposed to do. This is what it is. Like I said, this is a cowboy town out here. Anyway. Let's get on to football before we start here. These games start. Gave you a couple games a couple days ago. Again, I gave you Pittsburgh +3. It moved down to 2 today. There's some 2.5s out there. I would recommend buying it to 3 for a little bit. I really don't have anything else real strong. Gave you a couple games. I see that the Dallas game is moving now. It's moved already. There are some 6.5s here in town. +7 on the buy, I guess, will be good now. I took +7. Some other movement in the industry, in the market. I looked at Jacksonville last night a little bit. I did put them on the parlay cards. That's about it, and I have to go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for my whole time ranting, but most people will like it.
Yeah, they'll love it. Well, we appreciate it. As always, thank you very much for spending a few minutes with us, and good luck today, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks. See you.